everybody to know all about nanoscience and technology. Talking about synthesis of nanomaterials, there are three main routes involved in it, that is physical, chemical and biological. Also, each of this route has many methods involved in it as described in our previous video. So continuing with it, in today's video, let's learn about one of the methods from physical route, that is about high energy ball milling. It is one of the commonly used methods among all the top-down methods. It is one of the simplest method of making nanoparticles. Using this ball milling technique, we can synthesize nanomaterials in the form of powder. Firstly, let's look at the definition of ball milling. Ball milling is defined as the process of grinding a material into a very fine powder using a cylindrical device filled with both the material to be processed and grinding medium. So now that you know the definition, now let's look at the principle of ball milling. I'm sure you all must have seen mixer grinder in your kitchen, where our moms make use of it to prepare powders and chutneys while cooking, right? So you can consider ball milling as a kind of grinder used to reduce the size of the materials. But the difference is that the grinder in our kitchen is provided with the container, which has blades fitted inside in it. So here, in the case of mixer grinder, the blades in the container helps in grinding the material. But in ball milling, we make use of metal balls as the grinding medium, and that's why the name is derived as ball milling. In ball milling, nanoparticles are produced by mechanical attrition. Then you may ask, what does this attrition mean? Attrition is nothing but collision between metal balls and our material. So what happens during the process is the kinetic energy of the grinding medium, that is balls, is transferred to the sample material placed in the container along with the balls, while the rotation of this container imparts kinetic energy to the balls, and ultimately this helps in size reduction of the material. So to understand how it works, let's just look at this picture. So this entire round or circle is the container. So this container is filled with the metal balls and our material. So the brown portion indicates the material, while the grey circles indicate the grinding medium or ball. So what happens during the process is we subject this container to high speed rotation. So while the container is rotating, there is continuous movement between the balls and the material. So during the movement of these balls and the material, there is collision between the material and the balls, and this collision between the balls and material cause crushing or grinding of the material, which ultimately leads to the size reduction of the material. So now I think you are clear about how it works, right? So after knowing the principle behind its working, let's have a look at the actual process of the ball milling and know how is it conducted. So here I have explained one by one procedures carried out during ball milling process. Firstly, desired material of any size and shape are placed in the container along with hardened steel or tungsten carbide balls. Then the container is closed with tight lids. The ratio of balls to materials should be 10:2. Then the container is rotated at high speed at a few hundreds of RPM. RPM is nothing but rotation per minute. So the container is rotated at high speed around their own axis. Additionally, it may also rotate around some central axis, and hence it is also called as planetary ball mill. The high speed rotation of the container causes differential movements between the balls, and there is collision between the balls and the material. As high energy is generated during this process, it is also named as high energy ball milling. So during the process of collision between the balls and the material gets crushed and its size is reduced, and ultimately nanoparticles in the form of powder is formed. Now just look at these pictures. So this is how exactly the container used in ball milling look like. So as you can see, our container is provided with a lid to close it and with the metal balls. So in this container we place our metal balls and the material to be converted into nanoparticles are placed, right? So this container filled with the metal balls and material is placed inside ball milling unit, where it is subjected to high speed rotation and entire milling procedure is carried out. So now that you know the working procedure of ball milling, let's move forward to know the process parameters. There are several parameters which influence the milling process. So let's look at them one by one. So the first parameter is milling medium, that is balls. The balls used in the milling process can be made of various materials such as stainless steel, hardened steel, tungsten carbide, zirconia, alumina and silicon nitride. Generally, high density and larger balls give better results because they increase impact energy on the collision. Also, the balls should be heavy than the material to be milled because larger balls produce smaller grain size. The second parameter is ball to powder ratio, also known as BPR. The ball to powder ratio, which is also known as charge ratio, is another milling parameter. It represents the wet ratio of the milling balls to the powder charge. That means it indicates the ratio of balls to powder used in the milling procedure. There are a wide range of BPRs which have been used in different experimentations. This BPR value can be as low as 1:1 and as high as 220:1. The third parameter is extent of filling of milling container. About 50% of the space of container is left empty because it is necessary that there is enough space for the balls and the material to move around freely in the container. That means only 50% of the container should be filled with the balls and material, while the other half part of the container should be left empty. If the container is more than half filled, the efficiency of milling is reduced. The fourth parameter is milling time. Milling time also plays crucial role in the milling process. Also, the impurities will increase with milling time and more undesirable phases may form if the material is milled for longer time. That means if we mill the material for longer time, there are chances of impurities occurring in the synthesized nanomaterials. So the material should not be milled for very long time. The fifth parameter is milling speed. The milling speed have significant impact and it varies with the type of mill. Above certain critical speed, the balls get attached to the walls of milling container and they don't impose any impact force on the material. However, below this critical speed, if the milling speed is higher, then the milling intensity will be higher. So these were some of the parameters that need to be taken into consideration while conducting the process of ball milling. Now, this ball milling technique also had some pros and cons. So let's look at some of its advantages and disadvantages. Firstly, let's look at the advantages of ball milling. First, it is not a time consuming process. That means in a short time, few milligrams to several kilograms of nanoparticles can be synthesized. Secondly, this technique can be operated at a large scale. Third, a large number of elemental and metal oxide nanoparticles like cobalt, chromium, TiO2 that is titanium dioxide, ZnO that is zinc oxide and Fe that is iron can be synthesized during this method. Also, it is a cheaper method and the cost of production is very low. So these were few advantages of ball milling. Lastly, let's look at its disadvantages. Firstly, it has low working efficiency. Next, it produces loud noise and strong vibrations during its working. The powders synthesized are highly reactive with oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen. And lastly, electricity consumption is relatively large. So, these were few disadvantages of ball milling. So yeah, with this we are done with our today's learning. But before you end this video, I want you people to do something very important thing. That is, press the subscribe button in your right corner and also hit the bell icon so that you will be notified every time I upload a video. So I hope you enjoyed today's learning, and if you did, then do like this video and also share it with them who would find it helpful. So okay then, until next time, keep learning and be happy.